will begin with searching for Redux documentation. You can see there on the official site, get started. Okay, I will use the npm command. I will create another terminal, install it. It will take a while. Okay, it's done. So basically, why do we need a Redux here? We need a Redux to pass the variable which counts the total games performed, and of course the particular wins and losses and draws. It's very difficult to make it by prop drill. So what is meant by that? When I change the URL, I pass the item ID, then I will generate a random item ID of the computer picked item, and check based on the choices list if I'm beating the computer or computer wins with me. Yeah, we have this bits ID, loss ID, and ID of the item. And then it will be checked and updated in the state in the React application. So we have it installed, and right now I can start performing the basic setup of the Redux, and it will be done with starting with the index.js file, and there I will have to import the provider from the React Redux, like that. Okay, and I can perform the provider here. And what is meant by that? I have to wrap entire app component to pass the variable which I will be updating. So there is an app component which has imported components like navbar, game, etc. And if I have the provider here, everything I store in the provider can be accessed in the entire application throughout different levels. So it's not needed to pass like in the tree from the top to the bottom and then go and pass the different levels. It will be just accessible from entire application point. Another thing what I will be needed right now is creating the store, and to make a store I have to create a new folder in the source directory. I will call it app, and inside of the app folder I will create the store.js. I'm not typing. Store.js. Right now I can create a store, and this store will be passed inside the index.js file in the provider. So in the provider I have to pass the store, which will be imported from the store file, and inside of the store file I will use the Redux, and I have to import configure store from Redux with Redux.js toolkit. Then I will have to attach a slice, so I will just comment it to remember about it. And here I have to export by default configure store reducer, and I'm using the counter here, so counter reducer. So counter reducer has to be imported from the slices, so I will just create the slices folder, and it will be looking like that. New folder, slices, and in slices I have to create a slice .js. And inside the slice.js I will import the create slice from the Redux toolkit, and using that I'm creating the slice of the counter by constant counter slice is equal to create slice name. I will name it counter because it will be counting the wins, losses and total games. Initial state is wins 0, loses 0, draws 0. I can go further. Reducers won state arrow function state wins and increment it by 1. So the won reducer will update the state of wins by incrementing it by 1. So every time I will win, I will call the reducer of won and update the win state. I have to create analogically the same for lost and draw. I'll just copy paste and customize it to lost state losses right here. Okay, draws state draws. Then I have to export, and I'm exporting won, lost and draw is these reducers, which are destructured from the counter slice dot actions, because it's behind the actions in this counter slice. Export by default counter slice reducer. So basically what is it doing to my custom function of updating the won, lost and draws. So I have to do it by creating a slice. So every time I need a custom solution for the Redux. Like right now it will store the all lost and draws total games. It will be called counter because it's counting. I update the initial state and reducers. And for example, if I would like to create another one, I have to just create another slice. In the slices, of course, I would call it differently because this React application will consist only one slice. I just called it slice.js. To continue the Redux setup, I have to import the slice in the store. So I'm going to the store and just importing that here. Counter reducer, it's in the store and provided to the provider. Okay, I have to provide it also. It's provided but not in the global style, but in the provider. There is an error because the React Redux is not installed. So I have to install it. npmi React Redux. And it's installed right now. Store is not defined, okay, because it's not imported. So I have to import it right now, and I'm just importing. It's ready. Before applying this Redux into the app, I will quickly explain how it will work. So I have this app component, and inside app I've created the game, the choices. So there are choices, game, and I'm passing the item ID in this example through the routes, so it's read from the URL. But if I have to pass the state, the variable which contains the performed games, which counts that. So for example, I played the first game, I won, there is one game played, then the second game, and I have to have there the counts. Total games, and there will be a number 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And to achieve that, I cannot just take props and perform the prop drilling, so I can't pass prop like that or take a prop because it has to be in the nav. Nav will be created, navbar will be created right here. So navbar will be always visible, like below the up level, but upside the choices game, and also will be visible. And in this navbar will be a counter, so it's not possible to make it with the prop drilling. And I have to create something like a big onion, which will create the provider. So this is literally the provider. Yeah, I'm wrapping the entire app in this provider. I store a store, and store is just configured with the slices. I can make multiple slices, slice 1, slice 2, etc. I can pass it to the store by configuring it, but in this application I have only one slice, and this slice is implemented here, and I have an initial state, so initial state is created. Wins, loses, draws, I can create any variable I want. There are some functions called reducers functions, which update these variables. They have the initial state, and after reducing with the reducer, I can update the state of them and export, pass to the store. It's in the provider, and I can take it from any level of the application, from any component inside the app component. I can even have here a choice, because we created, and take the state in the choice. So it's a big web. I hope you understand. We'll make another tutorial with the deeper understanding of that.